Alright guys, so we got a package here from Bry's comic shop. Some of this stuff is for me that I got in a trade with Bry. Some really good stuff. And a couple books in here that he sent me to have cleaned and pressed for him. So stick around, we'll get into it.
John's got a mission to save the day. With comics in his hands, he leads the way. Cleaning and pressing.
Alright guys, as always, still got the giveaway going on. 3,000 subscribers get entered for a chance to win Incredible Hulk 181 foil facsimile. Give them this way as soon as we get to 3,000 subscribers. I'll be picking. All you gotta do is leave a comment below, be a subscriber, and you're entered for your chance to win this. So leave a comment and get entered. Free book. We're gonna get into this. So there's some books in here. I made a trade with Bry at Bry's comic shop for a few books, and then he also sent me a few books that he wanted to have me crack and clean. So we'll go through those. First up, we have an Avengers 53. That's an 8.5. So it looks like it probably needs a hop. It's got a little bit of tanning on the edges, a little bit of corner crunch here. Probably has a potential for a 9.2, maybe even a 9.4. That's really going to depend on how well the hop works. You can see it's really browned up a lot on the edges, especially it's even worse on the back. And it's in an old case. This is a 06 case number, so probably have good potential here to get a good bump on that book. It's not anything, it's not like a special key book. It's just it's a really high grade Avengers 53, so a really high grade Silver Age Avengers. So next up, PGX. I've never cracked a PGX case. I asked Bry how hard they were to crack, and he said you could cough on them and they will come open. So again, this book looks dirty, so it looks like it could use a clean for sure. This is Wolverine Origins number 10. I think this is the first Dakin. But yeah, it's 9.4 white pages. I don't see anything obvious on it. I don't know if PGX has like notes. I usually like to look at the notes to see what they saw to give it a grade, but I don't know PGX. I don't do PGX, so I'll have to check that out and see. A really ugly case, to be honest with you, too. It feels bad as well. It's just not a good feeling on this. This is the variant with the third claw, so this is the much rarer version of this. The two claw version is the standard, and the third claw coming out of the wrist that's the book you want. That's the big dollar book. So it looks really good. I'm honestly surprised it has a 9.4, but the case is really scuffed up, so I'll have to get it out of this case and really see what it looks like to know what's going on. But I'd say at a glance it definitely looks like a 9.8 candidate. I just won't know until it's out of the case. A lot of these, in any kind of cases, you can tell a lot more when it's out of the case. That thick plastic from CGC or CBCS really blocks a lot of what you can see as far as fingerprints, small bends, stuff like that. Next up, again, feels like an old case. Looks like we got X-Men 130 First Dazzler. I wish this was my book. Looks like we got a tiny bit of corner crunch on the bottom. And I mean, the rest of the cover looks really good. This is obviously, you know, like I know X-Men without looking it up. First Dazzler. The back's dirty, could definitely use a clean. It's got a few bends, not really creases, just bends on the back that should come out well. I'll ask Bry. The back could probably use a hop, but I'll ask him before I do that. It's a little bit yellowed, and the hop will help that yellowing a lot. But I'll check with him before I do that to see if he wants to do that. So this probably is a 9.8 candidate. It definitely, I don't see anything that's obvious that would keep it from a 9.8, but it's really gonna, like I said, same with the other ones. It's gonna wait till I'm gonna have to wait till I get it out of the case to really get a good feel for what it looks like. Another old case, Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes variant cover. So I'm not a DC person. I don't know if there's anything special about this. I'm sure there is, because he wouldn't have me press it and clean it if there wasn't. It looks like there might be some scuffing by the staple right there, but that might be artwork too. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. I can't tell if it's part of the artwork or if it's got a little scuff. Again, out of the case, I'll be able to tell. Other than that, if that's not a scuff, I mean, it looks like maybe there's some little ripple bends in it. Corners look good. Looks like maybe there's a little tiny spot there that might go against it. Keep it at a 9.6. Same with the bottom. There's a little bit of a, you know, a bindery tear is acceptable where it has that little tear, but these are both just a hair excessive. I don't think the two combined would get it to a 9.4, but they may keep it to a 9.6. And it looks like there might be some scuffing. There's definitely a big finger bend right here that if that's the only thing they're giving it a knock for, that's easily removed. I can actually see that through the case. It's so big. So yeah, other than that, again, I don't know DC that well. So if you know what the big deal with this book is, if there's something special about this book, leave it in the comments because I don't know. But yeah, definitely 9.8 candidate there. And then another old case, Teen Titans 2. This is the first appearance of Deathstroke. I do know this DC book. And giving it a look, there's a little crease on the bottom of the spine. And it looks like this corner's like rolled a little bit, but that's easily fixable. There may be some scuffs here. It's hard to tell again with the case. It could be the case, it could be the book. Definitely ink is not great on this, but they won't really ding you for that because that's a printing defect. But it looks kind of faded. It is a newsstand too, so a bump on a newsstand, if this gets a 9.8, that's a pretty good big dollar book too. And then maybe a little bit of a ding in this bottom corner. So the last one that he sent for cleaning, I can look at the back of this right away and tell it needs a hop. It's very yellow. Oh, it's a good book too. So this is X-Men 101 First Phoenix. So definitely a yellowed back that looks like there is a printer's crease right along the spalding there. I don't know how well that shows up in the camera. But there's a printer's crease. Can't really do anything about a printer's crease. It's there forever. It's when I've mentioned this before. It's when they're printing the books and the paper has a crease in it. They just print right on top of that crease. So if you were to get it to smooth out, you would actually, there would be no ink underneath it because it was creased over when they printed it. Yeah, I'm actually shocked this is a 9 or an 8.0. I'd say this is probably a 9.2, 9.4 candidate. It is a new stain, which isn't that rare on this era. And they may not even actually have done directs at this point. I'd have to look. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything other than just the yellow back and that printer's crease. But again, they usually don't ding you on printer's creases. So there's a staple tear that's gonna I can't do anything about that. Looks like there may be 1 or 2 small color breaking spine ticks, but every bit of a 9.2. Without much work at all, it's a 9.2. Once I get it out of the case, I'll see it could be a 9.4, 9.6 candidate. And that's a big bump in value from an 8.0 to a 9.4 even. And a 9.6 even is better. So the other books in here are my books that I traded for. And one I'm super excited about. It's something I've always wanted. Any issue of this series, and I've never had an issue of this series, and I finally got one. So that's really a highlight for me. But again, I traded books. Bri does lots of good trades, so we'll save that book for a second. So lots of good trades. If you have a list of books, of CGC graded books you're looking to trade and upgrade to a bigger book, he's definitely always down for that. So this first one, he actually reached out to me when he first got it about possibly pressing, and then he didn't think it was worth the risk to get the grade bump, so he decided against it. I think it's worth the risk, so I traded for it. It does have, I'm trying to see, there was one thing on it that was very apparent. Maybe that's a different book. So yeah, it's just yellowed a little bit. It's got definitely some browning on the back, which I think I can mitigate that quite a bit. And this is the black cover, and it's very hard to get this without a ton of spine breaks and cracks along it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to crack this and press it. And I told him, I said, hey, when it comes back as a 9.6 or a 9.8, you're going to buy it back from me? And he said, sure. So I'm hopeful that I can get a bump on this. I really think it's got a lot of potential. It's got some dust shadows that can definitely go away. The big thing that's going to be a hurdle on this is the interior and what it looks like. Because when you do hop on these books, what you don't want is a significant visual difference in the outside and the inside. You know, if the outside's bright white and the inside's tan, that they know that there is restoration in their mind. Even though hopping it isn't technically restoration, when it doesn't look and match the same, they don't like that, and they'll give you a purple label. So it's really going to depend on the inside. Hopefully the inside's not too bad. I may have to do some interior hopping on here, which is a little more challenging. And then maybe even a light bled on that. So pretty awesome though. I think that's gonna bump. And then this last one, man, I am so pumped to have this book. It's a thick case. We'll show you the back. Ooh, she's pretty. The big knock on this book specifically is the pages. The page quality is creamed off-white. But look at that. Isn't that a beaut? That's a Captain America Comics number 60 from 1947. And it actually is in very good shape. It's a 7.5 on this grade. Yes, I'm going to clean and press it. These are a little challenging. They're one staple books. So these only have one staple in them right in the center. So you got to be really careful, because if you put too much pressure on that staple, and you could pop it and have the cover come off of the interior. It looks like the staple's really tight on this though. It actually looks better than a 7.5. It's an old label. It's a 005. This was probably graded in the early 2000s, so definitely was no pressing at that time. It's always scary when you open these, because you never know what you're going to get on the inside, what kind of surprises might be in there. So that's a little scary. I could open this up and the centerfold be detached, or you just never know. The big knock on the notes, I remember, is there's a small tape pull right there on the shield. You can kind of see it. It's really minimal. Paper looks really good though, and if you've ever done any work on a Golden Age book, that paper quality is so much different. It's so much more porous. So you can't erase as much as you can on like Silver Age, because Silver Age has a gloss over it. This doesn't have that gloss, so it's really hard to do a dry erase and not potentially rub some of the paper off. So it's a tough clean, but it's got a dust shadow on the bottom that I can definitely get rid of. I'm gonna crack this out probably on my, well, you may have already seen it. So this video will probably come out the same day. I'm gonna open this up and start cleaning on it. Along with all these, I'll go through cracking the cases. So hopefully this video comes out Sunday morning, and you're now watching me clean it and open these cases up. So really happy to have that book. Super excited to have a Captain America Comics, especially one in such a high grade. These books are, this is Marvel before Marvel. It was Timely Comics then. And they're hard to find in good quality because the paper condition, the paper is it's a newspapery type print. And actually this it does say a Marvel magazine, but it's still under the Timely logo, which is kind of cool. So 1947, this is, my dad was 7 years old when this book came out. So he would have seen it on the newsstand when he was a kid, but I doubt he bought it. 10 cents was a lot of money to my dad when he was a kid. So yeah, great stuff. Like I said, all these books are going to be coming out of the cases they're in. I'm going to go through, these two are mine. I'm going to be opening these and cleaning mine. I'm going to do Bry's stuff first, and go through these. I'm going to go through these in detail and make sure I'm doing what he wants me to do to them, and that we're maximizing, you know, the grades on each of these books. So thanks again for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Really happy to share this Captain America book with you. I'm really happy to have it. Don't forget to leave a comment. Be entered for your chance to win the Incredible Hulk 181. Take it easy, guys. Have a great one. We'll see you next show.
Thanks for tuning